On this vote, the ayes are 218, the nays are 211, with one answering present. The resolution is adopted. I've sat there and heard the representative actually spew anti-American rhetoric as well. I've been in that committee room where the representative equates Israel and the United States to Hamas and the Taliban.
This is what real accountability finally looks like. The second that gavel slammed down, and the clerk read it out 218 to 211, the entire chamber felt the ground shift under everyone's feet. After years of non-stop outrage, endless controversy, and regular Americans asking the same damn question, when the hell does this stop? Congress actually did something. And let me be crystal clear. When a sitting member of Congress keeps trashing this country, then doubles down right after a tragedy hits close to home, people notice. Power without pushback turns into straight-up arrogance. And arrogance, it always overplays its damn hand. If you're sick to death of politicians acting like they can spew whatever toxic garbage they want with zero consequences, smash that subscribe button right now. Because what just went down? That was political history dropping in real time.
Pursuant to Clause 2A1 of Rule 9, I rise to give notice of my intent to raise a question of the privileges of the House. The form of the resolution is as follows. House Resolution 713, censuring Representative Ilhan Omar of Minnesota and removing her from the Committee on Education and Workforce and the Committee on the Budget. Whereas Charlie Kirk was a lifelong advocate for freedom of speech, civil political discourse, and the political engagement of youth. Whereas Charlie Kirk was a man of deep faith, a husband, and a father to 2 young children. Whereas on September 10, 2025, Charlie Kirk was assassinated on the campus of Utah Valley University while exercising his First Amendment right to freedom of speech. Whereas on September 11, 2025, one day after the assassination of Charlie Kirk, Representative Ilhan Omar gave an interview on Zateo's town hall with Mehdi Hassan in which she smeared Charlie Kirk and implied he was to blame for his own murder. Whereas on September 12, 2025, 2 days after the assassination of Charlie Kirk, Representative Ilhan Omar reposted a video on X, formerly known as Twitter, which disparaged the character of Charlie Kirk and those mourning his death. Whereas the video Representative Ilhan Omar reposted on X states Charlie Kirk is dead, and before the body got cold, the far right propped his corpse up as a cudgel for their holy war. Whereas the video Representative Ilhan Omar reposted on X further states, don't be fooled. These people don't give a single shit about Charlie Kirk. They are just using his death to further their Christo-fascist agenda. Whereas the video Representative Ilhan Omar reposted on X further states Charlie Kirk was a reprehensible human being. He enacted his political agenda by preying on weak-minded people. He took complex socioeconomic issues and simplified them by pointing fingers at outgroups, demonizing those groups, and sicking his massive following on them. Whereas the video Representative Ilhan Omar reposted on X further states Charlie Kirk was a stochastic terrorist, an adamant transphobe. He denied the genocide happening in Palestine. He believed the subjugation of women, and in his last dying words, he was spewing racist dog whistles. Whereas the video Representative Ilhan Omar reposted on X further states, Charlie Kirk was Dr. Frankenstein, and his monster shot him through the neck. Whereas the video Representative Ilhan Omar reposted on X further blames Charlie Kirk for his own murder. Whereas Clause 1 of Rule 13 of the Rules of the House of Representatives provides a member, delegate, resident commissioner, officer, or employee of the House shall behave at all times in a manner that shall reflect credibility on the House. Whereas Representative Ilhan Omar's actions in the wake of the assassination of Charlie Kirk are reprehensible and affect the dignity and integrity of the proceedings of the House and do not reflect the credibility on the House. Now, therefore, be it resolved that Representative Ilhan Omar of Minnesota be censured. Representative Ilhan Omar forthwith present herself in the well of the House of Representatives for the pronouncement of censure. Representative Ilhan Omar be censured with the public reading of this resolution by the Speaker and Representative Ilhan Omar be and is hereby removed from the Committee on Education and Workforce and removed from the Committee on the Budget of the House.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We've heard from my colleagues the reasons why the Representative Omar should be removed from this committee, but I feel like all the reasons have not just yet been stated, which is why I rise to add for the record. We've heard about the comments that were made regarding anti-Semitism and anti-Israeli views, but I rise to add to the record that as a member of the Foreign Affairs Committee, I've sat there and heard the representative actually spew anti-American rhetoric as well. I've been in that committee room where the representative equates Israel and the United States to Hamas and the Taliban. Absolutely unacceptable for a member of that committee. I've also heard the representative equate that it is the United States' fault that there is turmoil in Venezuela. That is not because of the oppressive socialist and communism that has spread throughout Central and South America in Venezuela at the hands of the Maduro and Hugo Chavez regimes. That is unacceptable. And as a New York representative, to hear the representative belittle, to try to diminish the worst terrorist attack on United States soil on September 11, 2001, as some people did something, that is unacceptable as well. And I hold the same standard for this side of the aisle that I do the other, because when another colleague on my side said something about 9/11, I also voted to have her removed from the Education Committee because I thought that was inappropriate. So I'm being consistent here, and I hope my colleagues will do the same to show that this is about consistency and accountability, because we should not have an individual with those views on the committee that is tasked with representing our country and our Congress.
Today, the House voted to censure Ilhan Omar and yank her off key committees. This wasn't some quiet procedural footnote. It was a thunderclap, a loud, unmistakable statement. The resolution, read straight up by Nancy Mace, called out conduct that flat-out doesn't reflect credibility on the House. Specifically, her remarks and social media posts right after the assassination of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. And here's the match that lit the whole thing on fire. Omar reposted and amplified content ripping Kirk to shreds literally hours after he was killed. Language that a ton of lawmakers said didn't just cross the line from political beef, it dove headfirst into something way darker. Then Nicole Meliotakis stood up and reminded the whole damn chamber of Omar's past statements, equating the United States and Israel with actual extremist groups. The mood flipped from let's debate to this is an indictment. Supporters didn't frame it as partisan payback. They called it consistency. Meliotakis even dropped the mic. She'd voted to boot members of her own party in the past for sick 9/11 remarks. Her point: standards apply to everybody, or they apply to nobody, period. And come on, when someone sits on foreign affairs and keeps dropping bombshell rhetoric about America's place in the world, that's not minor drama. That's serious as hell. Foreign policy isn't Twitter beef. It isn't cable news hot takes. It's the global stage with real stakes. The vote came down razor thin, 218 to 211. But it cleared. Censure on the record. Stripped from committees. Public rebuke right there in the well of the House. Supporters are screaming long overdue accountability. Critics are screaming political hit job. But one thing nobody can spin away: the free pass on reckless, consequence-free rhetoric just got body slammed. And the real gut punch question hanging in the air right now? Was this the end of the line? Or just the opening shot? If you think Congress ought to hold its own members to actual standards, no matter the party, no matter the noise, hit subscribe. Because moments like this don't just happen, they matter. And they're only getting started.